See, anybody can, whether you will or not. See, that's the question. We are all buying somebody's plan. The question is, whose? Who's got you talked into doing what you're doing? But see, anybody, if you want to, can go searching for a good plan, pick it, and start working it. And sure enough, as the time passes, as it surely will 5 years from now, 10 years from now, then you'll be winding up wearing what you want to wear, driving what you want to drive, living where you want to live, become what you want to become. But now's the time to fix the next 10 years. And who can? Anybody.
Whenever there's an argument between your heart and your mind, follow your heart. There are things that the heart can understand and feel that the mind cannot relate to. There are things that you feel, that you know in your heart of hearts, that's not logical, it's not practical, it's not realistic, but there's something in you that says, I can do this. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry are relentless. People that are hungry are unstoppable. People that are hungry refuse to give up. I'm willing to make this happen. No excuse is acceptable. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I can do it. If anybody's ever done it at any point in time in history, then what's possible for one, it's possible for me, and I'm going to do it.
Sometimes it's going to hail on your crop and rain on your parade, so you got to get ready for that or you will be naive. That's just part of the life arrangement. But there's just times, sometimes you lose. That's part of life.
If you're still talking about your dreams, if you're still talking about your goals, but you have not done anything, just take the first step. I'm asking you to take the first step. The first step is stop talking about it. The second step is just take one step toward it. And then the next day, take another step toward it. When you become the right person, I'm telling you, you can make whatever kind of money you want to make. You can have whatever you want to have. You can do whatever you want to do. Like, there are no limitations. Somebody telling you when to come to work. Somebody telling you when to take lunch. Somebody telling you when to do a vacation. Somebody telling you what you can and cannot do. Some of us, we were born to fly. But what I'm telling you is when you become the right person, what I mean by the right person is once you identify who you are and you begin to separate yourself from the masses and you begin to see your individuality, when you begin to see your talents, when you begin to see your personal skills. It's all about freedom, and the more you become you, listen to me, the more you become you, the less you got to take orders and the more you can start giving orders. And I'm not talking about giving orders to others, I'm talking about giving orders to yourself. You can't get to the level economically where you want to be until you start investing in your mind. You're not reading books. I got guys in school talking about they want to be rappers and they don't have a dictionary. You want to be a rapper and you don't have a thesaurus? I'm challenging y'all a book a week. I'm challenging y'all to go to conferences. I'm challenging you guys to invest in your mind. Every day when you wake up, every single day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom, you can hit the snooze button and go back to bed. That's right, and do what? And dream. That's right, you can go back to sleep and dream about what you want to have. You know, watching MTV, watching BET, read magazines and dream about what you want to be. Right? Right there with your comfortable pillow, you dreaming about what you want to be. Or you can look at that snooze button kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams.
Most people don't even make a resolution anymore. Why? Because they've made them from years and years and years, and they know they're not going to follow through. So after a while, who wants to disappoint yourself? Who wants to be upset with yourself? Why even bother to set a new standard for this year? You know it's going to be the same as last year. The question is, what is it that makes us even want to make a resolution? I mean, it's an interesting question. Why is it at the beginning of a year we have this tradition? But it goes beyond tradition. It's something inside of us that makes us want to make things better. Just see, what does it really take to make this thing happen? Because there's no denying that inside of you, the only thing that's going to make you happy in the year ahead and the decades ahead is going to be having you have an experience where on a regular basis, you feel like your life is making progress. Getting things is not going to make you happy. That's good news in a tough economy. It's a good reminder. It doesn't matter what you get. Doesn't matter whether it be money or opportunity. All those things might excite you for the moment. Even a relationship, as magnificent it may be, might be exciting for a while, but if you don't keep growing, that relationship isn't going to stay exciting. Progress equals happiness, and if we can make progress on a regular basis, we feel alive, and that's why at the beginning of the year we get this thing like, okay, I can have this fresh start, I could really do what my soul desires, I could expand, I could grow, I could improve, I could change. Or maybe better than change, I could progress. Progress is an aliveness to it, doesn't it? You don't have to work at changing. People say all the time now, well, I'm working on changing. Don't worry about it. Work on changing. Change is automatic. Your body's going to change whether you want it or not as the years go by. And no matter how hard you work, there's going to be some changes going on there. The economy is going to change no matter what you want it to do. The weather is going to change. Relationships are going to change. Everything in life is always changing. We don't have to work on change. Change is automatic, but progress is not. If you want to make real progress, then you really got to look at your life in a different way. You got to say, I got to take control of this process and not just hope it's going to work out like people do who make a resolution. Because really, isn't that what they're really doing at the beginning of the year? They're saying, well, here's my resolutions for the year, and they really basically tell you their wishes. It's their wish list. It's what they hope it all comes together. And then they call it a resolution, but they don't know what a resolution is. When you resolve something, to have a resolution is to resolve it. When you've resolved, this is how it's going to be. That's when you cut off any possibility except the thing you've committed to. It's like the old adage, if you want to take the island, you burn the boats. Because when you burn those boats, there's no going back. You're going to find a way to make things work. And most people, they're stating what they hope will come together. And if it doesn't happen, then they're disappointed, but they're not too disappointed because they're not too vested. The first step is you got to have a vision for what it is you really, truly want. A vision is about what you're here to create. A vision that really works is one that excites you. It has to be a compelling vision. It's got to have something that has the power to pull you, not something you have to push yourself to do. Those are two different kinds of motivation. Push requires willpower, and willpower never lasts. Probably not going to have the power of focus there. Probably not going to have the power of the energy to create something that's going to pull you for this year. And you got to do that. So it's got to be a vision that's compelling. Something that you know it's going to be a gift to make sure that it happens. And also, along with that compelling vision, you got to have strong enough reasons that you're going to follow through when the going gets tough. So the secret to real happiness is progress.
You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas. Unquestionably, you must have faith. It's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. Yes, right. And it's worth it.
If you want to create change and you want to do it right now, you know that coaching is the way to get it done. You go to someone who has the expertise, who's produced the result again and again, they've got a track record, and you get them to coach you. You have to be curious. If you're watching this right now, you probably have heard or know somebody that's been to one of our events, and you've seen what's happened in their life. They've shared with you the results they've had, or you can check one of our videos or all the testimonials of results. The reason it works is because it's total immersion. But the reason they love it so much is it gets results. It works, and they love the process. I mean, you've got to be curious to think about how could we have an event where in one weekend, over the course of 3.5 days, you could get people where they said it was the greatest experience of their life, and many of them got dragged there by somebody else who'd already been saying, come on, trust me, you just got to try it. Some people didn't want to be there at all. But what happens is you go through a process that helps you to discover what controls the way you think, the way you feel, and what you do in your life. Every thought, every feeling, every emotion you experience in this lifetime is shaped by beliefs and values. All of your life is controlled by decisions you make. Decisions about what to believe, decisions about what to feel, decisions about what to do. And most of us are on automatic pilot, letting the world trigger us instead of taking back control of our life. And when you do that, just think of it this way. Anything you want to change. You want to change your body. You want to change your career, your business, your relationship. What to do requires the right strategy. If you want to lose weight and keep it off, you can't obviously just throw your pendulum and go on some silly diet. You got to know the things that are going to give you lasting results. So we teach those strategies. But some people even know what to do, but they don't do it. And why are we able to get people to do it, to follow through? Because 80% of success in anything, my friends, is psychology. And 20% is the mechanics. What that means is there's how to do stuff and there's why to do stuff. There are certain patterns in human behavior that make people crazy, make them frustrated, make them overwhelmed, make them depressed, make them give up. And there are other patterns that people have that absolutely light them up. They get them excited, they get them passionate, they get them where all of a sudden they develop a different habit, a different set of triggers where they find themselves following through consistently and doing the things that make what they dream about real. Those patterns, those triggers are really, really critical. So it's not enough to know just what to do. You got to know why you're going to do it, and you've got to align it with the way your brain functions. Everyone has different values. Everyone has different goals or dreams, cultural background, religious beliefs. But human beings have something in common. We have the same fundamental needs. When your needs are met, you are lit up like a Christmas tree. You feel alive, you feel passionate. When your needs are not being met, you're gonna feel a level of frustration or anger or fear or uncertainty or stress or maybe just boredom that just sucks the life out of a human being. All of us have two things we really want to master if you think about it. We have things we want to make better, change, or improve. I mean, I don't care who you are, if you're totally honest, there's always an area of our life we'd like to make better. What it is that's missing, show you where you want it, help you find out where you want to go, and then show you a set of strategies to maximize it, but then we click on the part that makes it all move forward, which is your emotion and your psychology. I mean, think about it. Information without emotion is forgotten. Now, once you're totally focused and you know what you want, what your goal is, you know where you are and where you want to go. You understand where the gap is. That's healthy. Now, the second thing we need for you, the second pillar for sustainable success, think of these, if you would, as like, what does it take to have success last? What does it take to make a change last? Well, the first thing you need is this focus, where you know what you want and why you want it, and you're driven and you're hungry and you're committed and you got all your energy into it. And we help you to do that. Secondly, though, you got to put yourself in this place where you get the right skills. You need the right strategies. You need a map on how to get from where you are to where you really want to be. If your strategy for losing weight is to go on some crazy diet, you know it's not going to last. And yet that's what most people do. They have strategies that are not sustainable. And oftentimes the strategies you learn are not, they don't require a radical change in you. They just require doing the right thing a little differently. Sometimes people even do the right thing at the wrong time, and then they get frustrated. You know, if you bought a home in 2006, buying a home might be the right thing. 2006 was the wrong time, at least in the US. So strategy and timing are everything, and I've spent 3 decades basically modeling people that have the most successful changes in their life physically and emotionally and relationships and finances and career, and said, what do they have in common? What do they do? What works? Let's do that. It's proven. Now, if you know what it is you really want and you give it total focus, and then you've got strategies that are absolutely proven to work, now, if you know what it is you really want and you give it total focus, and then you've got strategies that are absolutely proven to work, then is that all you need? Well, you would think it would be, but there are people I'm sure you know that know what they want and why they want it, and they know how to go get it, but they aren't doing anything. That's because they're missing the third pillar of sustainable success. And without 2 pillars, a 2-legged stool doesn't stand real well, does it? You got to at least have 3. That third one is you've got to eliminate the inner conflicts. You've got to kind of unlock and unleash. Unlock these conflicts and unleash yourself again. And what I mean by these conflicts is that when you go to an event, what you're going to discover is it's not that hard for me to change my body or change my relationship or get the economics that I really deserve or make a shift in any area of life. Not that difficult in terms of complexity. The difficulty is that we have these mixed emotions. Part of you wants to make everybody happy and please everybody, and you also want to be true to yourself, and there's a conflict there. You know, you want to be totally financially successful, and you don't want anybody to judge you. It ain't gonna happen. They're gonna judge you because they have their own challenges within themselves. You know, you want to be in a position where constantly you could really go for this goal, but simultaneously your fear pulls you back, and so you've got this conflict between your desire and your fear. Inner conflicts make people take 3 steps forward and 5 steps backwards. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's what makes people sabotage themselves. It's not that all the good ones are gone. It's not that the good times are gone. The reason you're not getting what you want is there's inner conflict, and that is my specialty, is helping you to figure out what it is and be able to shift it very quickly and create an alignment in you. So that every part of you is focused, you got the right strategy, and every part of you wants to move forward, and then you will. You'll be pulled towards what you want instead of trying to push your way to where you want to get. You're going to get exhausted if you try to just use willpower to make lasting change. It doesn't work. Push doesn't last. Pull, having something attract you and pull you forward, is a shift that happens inside of us, and I've got a process that over a few days will happen that'll make you feel a sense of excitement and passion and aliveness. It'll give you the pull. It's all about training yourself and conditioning yourself so that you follow through consistently and have the quality of life that you really desire and deserve. Does that make sense? Ultimately, if you get those 3 pillars in place, total clarity what you want and why you want it, put yourself in an environment where you really connect the emotion to that, that'll drive you when things get tough.
What you need to think is not how you see the world, but what you need to see is how the world sees you. The world sees you as much bigger, and when you can see yourself as the world sees you and not how you see yourself, is when you're gonna go to another level.
You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas. Unquestionably, you must have faith. It's hard, yes, it's hard. It's difficult, yes, right, and it's worth it.
You know how many committees we have at Apple?
No.
0. We have no committees.
No committees.
We are organized like a startup. One person's in charge of iPhone OS software. One person's in charge of Mac hardware. One person's in charge of iPhone hardware engineering. Another person's in charge of worldwide marketing. Another person's in charge of operations. We're organized like a startup. We're the biggest startup on the planet.
Jumping is scary. When you first jump, your parachute is not going to open right away. I would love to tell you that it would, that when you quit your job, you'll just have a shop full of clients. It ain't gonna happen. The chute don't ever open right away. You gonna get some skin tore off you on them rocks.
There's tremendous teamwork at the top of the company, which filters down to tremendous teamwork throughout the company. And teamwork is dependent on trusting the other folks to come through with their part without watching them all the time, but trusting that they're going to come through with their parts. And that's what we do really well. And we're great at figuring out how to divide things up into these great teams that we have and all work on the same thing, touch bases frequently, and bring it all together into a product. We do that really well. People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, and you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up, being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough, and the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. If you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it. You got to have passion. And I think that's the high order bit. The second thing is you've got to be a really good talent scout, because no matter how smart you are, you need a team of great people, and you've got to figure out how to size people up fairly quickly, make decisions without knowing people too well, and hire them, and see how you do and refine your intuition, and be able to help build an organization that can eventually just build itself, because you need great people around you. What I do all day is meet with teams of people and work on ideas and solve problems to make new products, to make new marketing programs, whatever it is.
If you don't ever jump, your parachute will never open. You will never soar. Now, you'll be safe. You'll sit there with that parachute on your back, all them skills you got and your skills you got, and you'll have it packed away, and you'll never get cut up on the rocks. Don't jump, and you'll never get cut up. But if you do not jump, you will never soar.
If you want to hire great people and have them stay working for you, you have to let them make a lot of decisions, and you have to be run by ideas, not hierarchy. The best ideas have to win.
There must be more than a facilitator who runs meetings. You obviously contribute your own ideas.
I contribute ideas, sure. Well, why would I be there if I didn't?
What burns in your heart is important for you to pay attention to, because it never goes away. You spend a lot of time discovering your gift. If you wake up pursuing your math, you're going to have a rough life. That's why people wake up in a rut. Their life has no purpose, no meaning. They're not morning people. I'm just not a morning person. You're not a morning person because you're not living in your purpose.
Many of you are living a script around your life that involves having an enterprise when really that may not be your true nature. That's not to say you can't do it. It just means you can do it and you'll be stressed out of your life, stressed out of your mind. And so one of the things we want to find out is how much of that is natural as a problem, how much of that is maybe unnatural. Unnatural meaning you're having problems right now that you shouldn't be having at this stage of development. The most important element is for you to be able to do this, to be able to establish, most importantly, where you really are in your life today. Where are you? And where do you really want to go?
See, you hate waking up because you're waking up and you don't know the reason. You're waking up and you don't have no design in mind. Once you live in your purpose, when you discover your gift, you can't wait to wake up. You're talking to somebody that had flipped his life completely upside down. Please understand, pay very close attention to the thing that makes you happy. You can go ahead and pursue your math degree, and there's nothing wrong with getting it. But also, take a look at what burns on the inside of you.
What's going to create this extraordinary life? Because some of you right now, if you continue the direction you're going, are going to be successful and unfulfilled, unhappy, and stressed. Because once we get, into a dream, then that dream starts to take on a life of its own. It gives us juice, it gives us energy. But how many of you ever got the dream, achieved your goal, and then thought, is this all there is? That's more painful than not even achieving it. Because now you've done everything, you've worked it out, and you're successful, and you're not happy. So for some of you, you're going to need to take a look at that. Most people are not really entrepreneurs, but they think that's what they should be. They think that's the sexy thing, that's the most attractive thing, that's the best answer. And what I say to you is, you got to separate the vehicle from the outcome. What is it that's going to truly fulfill you? What is it that's going to give you that extraordinary life? What's going to make things magnificent on your terms, not somebody else's terms, not your father, your mother, your background? What is that really? Separate the vehicle, because there's many ways to get to that vehicle. But I'm saying sometimes you got to reevaluate what's going to really make you fulfilled. What is your gift? Are you an artist? Are you the talent that can produce something no one else produces as a skill or a product or a service or some impact? Are you incredibly good at management? You really know how to manage or lead people? Are you an extraordinary entrepreneur that can take that gigantic gut load of risk and can create the vision and attract the talent that you need and the managers and leaders? You may have all three abilities, but which one really fulfills you the most is going to be the critical question. Because we tend to want to do them all, especially in a room like this, because you're all overachievers, right? Me too. And you say, well, I can do all these. Yes, you can, but what will it do to your quality of life?
Find out what your gift is. God has never created a soul without giving them a gift. Your gift is very simple to know. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift.
What is an extraordinary life on your terms today? Getting clear about that. At this stage of life, where you are, where you want to go. At some level, you have a blueprint, a mindset, a belief system, a philosophy, a set of values that says, if I master this thing called my life or my enterprise, then I'll have this great feeling. What's really interesting about life, I believe that extraordinary life, however you define it, has two master skills to it. The first skill is the science of achievement. Most of you in this room have achieved enormously at various levels of business, or as an individual artist or talent, or as an entrepreneur, or as a manager or leader, as an investor. I mean, everybody in this room, most of you in this room, have really hit the jackpot by most of the world's standards, even though most of you think it's still not enough. But the science of achievement is a skill. It is a science. There are laws. So achievement, even this course, to me, that achievement is, business is a spiritual game. That's what I believe. It's a spiritual practice. A lot of people think it's business. Oh, that's money. That's this horrible thing over there. That's one of the reasons that they never get really passionate about it. I'm a very spiritually driven, purpose-driven man. But the reason I love business is I see business as the ability to take the invisible and make it visible. I think that is what spirituality and creation is. It's about how can I find the gift I have to give the world? And how can I give it in a way that truly adds value? Not, I think adds value, but the people receiving it, they vote with their feet and say, this truly makes a difference in my life. This is something I value. And then because they become a customer again. Because they're thrilled with it. Because they become a raving fan. Not just a satisfied customer. Satisfied customers will leave you. Raving fans will stick with you.
Find out what your gift is and go do that.
You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas. Unquestionably, you must have faith. It's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. Yes, right. And it's worth it.